Spurgeon here with RevZilla, and today we're going to take a look at the Oxford Quick Release Tank Bags available at revzilla.com. Now, when you're considering a tank bag for your motorcycle, really it comes down to how do you want to mount that tank bag onto your bike. And there's a variety of different options. You can go with a magnetic tank bag, which utilizes magnets on a steel tank. You simply throw the tank bag on, you're set to go. Now, you can also use a strap-mounted bag. Now, that's a little bit more of a process to get it installed. You're going to run some straps on there which hold it down to the tank, and that's going to be another option. Now, the third option is a quick release option, and what you're going to see here is this is actually going to utilize the fuel filler cap on a flush-mounted bike, and you're going to mount a ring to where that fuel filler cap sits, and then you're going to have a special mechanism on the bottom of the bed that actually locks into place, and this is actually going to lock this down to your tank utilizing this special mounting ring. Now, we'll talk more about install at the end, but just keep in mind, this is going to be about a 1 out of 3 on our BSD, our Beard Scale Difficulty 4 installation. Should take you about 15 minutes to get this installed. Keep this in mind. One thing you need to do before you ever consider any of these bags is use the bike finder on RevZilla's site, type in your bike's information, and see if there is a mounting plate available for your motorcycle. If there's no quick release adapter mounting plate, you're not going to be able to use one of these bags from Oxford. Also, the reason you're going with a quick release bag, really the added benefit here, is the fact that these actually keep the tank bag sitting off of your tank. So you don't have to worry about the bag itself rubbing against your paint. So if you're extremely particular about making sure that that paint looks nice and new, this might be that option for you to consider. Just keep in mind on some of the larger bags with the larger bases, if you're really loading this down with a bunch of heavy gear, you run the risk of it still touching base with that paint. So just keep in mind, you don't want to necessarily load these down super heavy if you are extremely particular about the paint on your bike. But with that being said, that's really the idea behind the quick release, in addition to the fact that it's simple, one swoop to get it on and off compared to, even a magnetic tank bag, which is still easy to put on. This gives you that extra bit of security where it's really locked into place, and you pull one little, switch on the lever and you can pop it right off. So what we're going to do is we're going to break down exactly what you're seeing on the table and what you get with the different tank bags within the quick release line from Oxford. So first and foremost, all the construction on these bags is the same as what we're seeing throughout the Oxford line of bags. It's a 420 ripstop nylon, and you can see it really clearly here on the side. The added benefit of ripstop nylon, it's this kind of a hatch print on the side of this. It's actually going to be reinforcement, so if it does start to rip or tear with the abuse that a tank bag normally gets both on and off the bike, that rip and tear doesn't continue. It's something that it's a material that we've seen throughout a lot of different tank bags and also garments here at RevZilla. Now, the base bag is your Q4R, and again, that Q stands for quick release. So anytime you're looking at tank bags within Oxford's lineup, you have the S, which stands for strap, the Q, which stands for quick release, and the M, which stands for magnetic. And then that second number is how many liters of capacity you are. So the Q4R is going to be the quick release with 4 liters of capacity. Very simple bag. This is probably your most basic bag within the quick release system. You have one large compartment, you have another small pocket up front, and then you are going to have your navigation pouch on the top, which would hold either a mini tablet or your GPS unit to use for navigation. Now, all of these bags will have your the port here, and the port is going to be for any kind of power that you want to run into the bag. So you have a simple little Velcro flap. You can then run this in, and we've seen a lot of other manufacturers do this where you have the rubberized port to get in. What's unique about Oxford is they actually have this Velcro flap that kind of flips over top of it to help keep water out. Now, on the bottom of this base, what you'll notice is you're going to have one position available for how you want to mount this on there. So you're going to mount the base on there, and you're not going to be able to move the bag forward or back. Now, when you step up into something like the Q15R, this is going to be your next bag in the lineup, and this is going to be an expandable bag. So it's 12 liters in capacity. It is expandable if you want to jump up to the full 15 liters. But really what we're going to see now is you're going to notice different holes in the bottom to mount this. So when you mount the plate, you can actually choose whether you want it to be, closer to you in the tank or further away. And this has a variety of different benefits. One, if you like to ride up on the tank a little bit more, you can actually push the bag further away from you for better feel. Or two, if you have handlebars that actually come in contact and you're kind of having trouble where it's hitting the bag, you can position exactly where you want that tank bag to sit so it doesn't bother your handlebars or interfere with your handlebars if you're in a full lock position. Now, when you also step up to the Q15R, this is where you're getting up into a shoulder strap. You're also going to have a backpack with this. So if you notice here on the bottom, there is going to be a zipper along the base. You can actually unzip this from the base, and then you'll have shoulder straps on the inside that you can use as a backpack, or again, you'll have the little the D-rings in the front that you can use this as a shoulder strap. This is also going to get you into a rain cover, which is not going to be included on the Q4R. Now, as we moved on to the two bigger bags, the Q20R and then the Q30R, both of these are going to have backpack straps, the same way you saw with the Q15, but there's no shoulder straps with this, and you're going to have a larger compartment. Now, the other added benefit that you're going to see here is if I flip this one over, you will notice that we have now moved up into 5 different positions. So you have the maximum amount of adjustability with the larger 2 bags on the table. The Q20R is a 15-liter bag that is expandable up to 20 liters, but you now have 5 different positions as to where you want to mount that base. Your expansion gusset is going to be on the top of this bag, and I'll go ahead and expand this one just so you can kind of get an idea of what we're talking about for the expansion on this. The one thing you'll note with the expansion gusset on the Q20 as well as the Q15 is that there's no extra reinforcement here. So when you do have this opened, it adds that extra level of expansion at the top of the bag. Keep in mind that if you have any heavier items, you want to put them in the bottom of the bag because there's no extra reinforcement at the top here. And if you put heavier items in the top, you get a little bit of flex that's going back and forth. So just want to go ahead and open this up to show you the inside of what we're taking a look at. All of these are going to be relatively the same. You're going to have a large main compartment, and then these are going to have those rain covers included the same way that we're seeing with these top 3 bags. So if you're concerned about rain protection, the bigger 3 bags on the table all do come with that rain cover, but it's really just that one large compartment, and again, access to your map pouch. You'll also notice that you now have much larger area if you want to put a tablet in here in addition to a GPS. You're going to be accommodated for that with the Q20. And then stepping up to the final bag on the table, this is the Q30R. The biggest difference that we're seeing here that sets it apart from anything else on the table is that with the expansion gussets on this, you're going from a 21-liter bag up to a 31-liter or up to a 30-liter bag, so it's maximum capacity. But you are going to have expansion gussets on the inside. Those are going to add as supports. So there's semi-rigid panels that when you run the expansion gusset, you can put those panels inside and it keeps its shape. So it just adds a little bit more rigidity and it gives you that extra level of storage without feeling like the bag is flexing back and forth on you. You're still getting the backpack straps as well as the waterproof cover for this. You're going to have the pockets on the side, and then this one will give you one additional pocket. If I flip this around, you're going to have one additional storage pocket on the front of this bag. So really what you're looking at is, you're moving from simpler on one end of the table to a more complex bag with maximum storage on the other end of the table, but all are going to utilize that same mounting system. So we said earlier on our BSD, a 1 out of 3 for our Beard scale of difficulty for installation. Now that BSD really only applies to actually mounting the tank bracket, the quick release adapter to your tank. Because once you have this installed, getting the bag on and off is extremely simple. So this is going to be an additional piece, and again, that's where you're using your bike finder to find the right adapter for your bike. It's going to come with everything you need. Basically, you're looking at replacement screws that come in the package that are going to be bike specific, and it allows you to just take off your existing fuel filler cap with the screws, put this on top, and then use the screws provided to put this back in. Super simple. The other thing that Oxford does is that each of the bags themselves include the mounting system, and then you can kind of figure out exactly where you want that to sit. Remember, when we're looking at the 3 bags in the end of the table, you can position this exactly how you want. The holes are already pre-drilled, so all you have to do is take the screws apart and then screw them into place in the holes and where you want them to sit. Once this is all together, install is extremely simple. You simply pop it onto the ring, and then to get it off, you have the little lever. You pull the lever, which releases the bag from that quick release adapter, which you've already installed on your tank, and the bag itself pops right off. So install for this is simpler than even what we've seen from some of the other quick release adapters as far as assembling all of it together. And then once you have it on there, you're set to go. Now there's a lot of riders out there utilizing a variety of different tank bags, and like I said earlier, it's really about the bike that you're using as to which tank bag is going to be right for you and the riding that you're doing. So if you want to hear more about what other riders have to say and how they're utilizing Oxford tank bags, you can always click the info button right now on your desktop or mobile device, which will allow you to read other rider reviews, and you can see exactly which bikes other riders are opting for within the Oxford lineup for their tank bags. And if you have more questions about your bike and which tank bag is going to be right for you, you can simply reach out to one of our gear geeks at 877-792-9455, or simply shoot over an email to cs@revzilla.com. Thank you for joining us for this look at the Oxford Quick Release Tank Bags. I'm Spurge. Enjoy the ride.